Dunkirk. Don't. Inappropriate. Dunkirk. Directed by Christopher Nolan, starring Cillian Murphy, Mark Rylance. There's a bunch of people in this movie. And, like, they get pretty equal screen time. So, first, go see this movie in IMAX. The theater I went to was insanely underpacked. Like, I was surprised. I honestly thought I was going to have to actually touch somebody. But there wasn't even 3 people within my eyesight. I don't even know how far up they went. Granted, it's Friday night, and right now it's like 7:30, so maybe that's not the best time. They still charge me $18, and this honestly deserves the $18. Like for the IMAX experience, it was 100% worth it. I am very curious to see how well this translates to the smaller screen. The beginning was fantastic. Like for a good 15-20 minutes, it was just hammering you hard. If you remember in my Wonder Woman video, I was complaining that her beginning wasn't very good because it was like a slow explanation of everything up to that point, where this is what I wanted it to be. Something big and heavy right in the beginning. Like, it just starts at that scene in the trailer where all the papers are raining down. Like, and then there's some reading, which honestly probably could have formatted that a little bit better, because like it popped up with one line, and then it popped up with that line, and then the second line, and then it popped up a third time and a fourth time, with just adding to it, when they probably could have either done one line at a time or the whole thing all at once. The performances in this movie were absolutely stellar. Mark Rylance is easily the breakout of it. He gave it his best, but I honestly was kind of expecting to cry in this movie, and I never did, because none of the characters that I cared about died, which was a bit unfortunate. But Mark Rylance really had the emotion that nobody else, being Army people, really had. Cillian Murphy had a fantastic shell shock, but he didn't actually have to deal with the consequences of it, and at the end he just kind of disappeared into the crowd. And then there were these 2 guys who did a really good job. I just couldn't tell them apart for the first half of the movie. One of them ended up being French. It was like there was one guy in the beginning, and then a second guy appeared, and then a third guy appeared, and they all looked pretty identical. If I have one complaint about this movie, it's that there's not enough diversity in the lead. Now, I'm making fun of USA Today. They honestly think that they could just change history to make it more diverse. You can't. Sorry, I mean, that's how history works. White men everywhere. Now, the movie was told in 3 chunks, all layered on top of each other, that take place at different times, that it took me easily half the movie to figure out. Because at first I was just confused, because sometimes it was dark, sometimes it wasn't, and there was no real clear, like, I think the editing on this is a little fucked up. We can call it experimental, but that actually sounds like I'm sucking Christopher Nolan's dick. It was bad editing. I don't know what he was trying to go for, but it was confusing as hell. But the cinematography was fantastic. Like, he was bringing in bits from Inception, like where you had to like tilt your head to follow what was going on, especially in the IMAX where it's huge and everywhere, and you really got to move around to kind of see everything. And the music, Hans Zimmer doing the music for this, like, he was controlling my heartbeat. You know, he played it fast and hard, and then just a little faster, a little harder. And it really actually started to hurt after a while. Luckily, it died down a bit in the middle of the movie. Not a whole lot happened. There was a kid who got blinded and then died. I didn't like him or care about him, and he kind of looked like somebody that I can't put my finger on. But I don't care. And I'm not sure if they were trying to do this as a big reveal, but Tom Hardy played a fighter pilot that was pervasive throughout the whole movie, but you never got a good look at his face. Mostly the eyes, little of the mouth in the beginning, but at the end he pulls off his cowl? Coif. I don't know what they're called. He pulls that off, and it just reveals Tom Hardy in all of his glory, and it's like, I knew that from the trailer, dude. Like, I know what Tom Hardy's eyes look like. Did he forget that we've seen him as Bane? I don't know. But I tell you what, I am not going to sleep anytime soon, and I'm going to get back to my undoubtedly hearing impaired life.